You just not gonna have that lined up for me?
Got you, man.
See, man.
Thanks, dude. Oh, I see it. It's right there, man.
It says intro right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And literally all you do is click it.
All right, cool.
It's crazy.
This is my fucking job.
Crazy, bro. You gonna be all right?
No.
I can't find
Demanding.
my
Where's my
song
fucking
choice.
frappuccino?
Intro.
Oh, cool, man. I see it. It's
You
right
see
there.
it? Yeah, it's
Let me
right
grab my
in front of you.
Wait.
Starbucks.
So
have,
I
I,
need to-
have I done Cardi B, Fat Joe, and
No, you forgot the Starbucks. I saw
and what you call it? You gotta put a tape on that.
Check. So we're gonna be a little off.
Got black tape.
That's what I don't fucking like, dude. And we're gonna have to figure that out in the future.
What?
Because turning it up and me being further away, I'm gonna have to deal with so much more room noise in the background.
Yeah, make sure that you can't
That's
see
what
it.
you're here for, bro. It's kind of crazy.
I thought I was here for my looks. and
Yeah.
No, all about that shit.
That works.
No.
I'm even to where I'm having to start
Can
doing
you
that.
make my voice sound good this week? And
You did kind of sound funny. So did
Literally,
I, man. What happened,
literally
dude?
buy a better mic, and we can.
Okay.
Because that mic is absolute garbage.
We need to make some money then.
Yeah, the whole black label thing. I started having to deal with that stuff in the car community now too.
Really?
Yeah, because we're getting sponsors for racing
Can
and
you
all
try?
that.
Okay.
Well,
there's nothing that's gonna make
Test,
my voice
test,
sound good
test,
this week because
test.
I've been sick. So
well, the problem is that microphone has like zero depth.
yeah, I know.
Has zero depth, so everything just sounds so flat.
Can you put up Fat Joe? It's Fat Joe.
I mean, there's
Cardi.
a keyboard right there, Edgar.
Yeah.
Totally
I
type
don't
it.
remember the name of the song, man.
Who was in it?
It's Fat Joe, Cardi, and Anuel, I believe.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it.
This is another thing that Josh has to do.
Reddit it, bro. I'm woke.
Yeah.
Dude, for real.
It's like Josh's catchphrase. It's pretty much.
It's automatically
think
going
of,
to change it.
think
to-
of anything that sounds stupid, probably his catchphrase.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. I mean,
Josh is in a piss poor mood this week, and I'm just gonna fuck with him all pod.
I'm trying to think of something like the dumb shit. Like,
Hey, bro, can you like not cover the New Age logo on your hat?
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Never mind.
Hold on, man. I just need to pour more wine.
Okay.
We're going to take one right out.
All right. Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be one of
It's going to be a long one.
Yeah, we're going to have a good pod today, guys. I got my creative juice. This is like Gatorade.
Yeah,
Sound like you're taking a piss.
it does. Got a phone call from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer it because that place sucks.
Oof. Worst place ever.
Glad you're out.
Oh! Lobo, quiet on the set!
All right, we good?
You ready, man?
Whenever you are, man. You're the mic.
Dude, I keep touching this expecting it's going to move there because I'm an absolute fucking retard.
Yeah, that's also true.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put that screen down just a little bit? Just a little bit.
That good?
Yeah, it's fine.
I literally changed nothing.
It didn't, but that's all right. Fuck
There
it.
you go.
All right.
Is that better?
Yeah, sure.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
We'll run it like last week.
Sure.
You can introduce Key, a.k.a. Bono, a.k.a. Sting. Just go at it.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Whoo! This might get loud. Episode 17. I'm Boom. I would like to say one thing when we start this off. Fuck PayPal.
Fuck PayPal.
Fuck PayPal so hard. I'm getting absolutely fisted because they won't fucking give me my money. They say, oh, we can't find your processed payment, even though I call my bank, it's there. So guess what? I'm done with PayPal. I'm done. Lost a customer. Fuck you. Anyways, Jeremy once again isn't doing his fucking job. And
I'll run a mic and you edit this shit. How's that sound?
we should do that one week.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
I'd remember to turn the GoPro on, though.
Probably not.
We're done with that GoPro.
I'm
Use
over
that
the
shit for
GoPro.
vlogs.
Edgar, you brought another guest. You just know people.
I just,
You just
hey
know
man,
people.
I know
I'm with it.
People from all sorts of life. Selling cars. Met Kei, and this is Kei Bland.
What up, Kei?
What's up?
Where you from, Kei?
Sarasota, man. Lived in the same house my whole life.
Nice.
You know?
What is it that you do?
Well, I'm a drummer for several different rock bands and metal bands. And
Got a drummer here for
I
you.
bet. We're going to get along just fine.
Yeah. You got multiple drummers in the house.
You're...
get me started with that shit, man.
How long have you been drumming for?
I got my first kit when I was 3.
Damn.
Actually, last night, my mom was showing my girlfriend my baby pictures, and there's a picture of me with a plastic drum around my neck, sticks in my hand, at the age of 2.
Damn. That's early.
Yeah.
That's early.
Yeah, man.
And then when did you... So did you just start on the set?
Yeah. When I was 3, I asked my dad for a drum set for my birthday, and immediately put me in the car, went out, bought it, and I played it from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. I played my first show when I was 6. That was at Giving Hunger the Blues in Sarasota in front of 5,000-6,000 people. And that
Here's
was
like, boom, fucking superstar right out.
I mean, it's been crazy, man.
I feel like if the Ellen show was on, then you would have been on there. But
we tried.
we tried.
I was denied.
We'll get to you, Ellen.
Yeah.
Because he is pretty impressive. You have to see his work.
Yeah, I got my first original band when I was 12. It was called Sugar Fix, later renamed Drop Shot. I've always been the youngest in all my bands. First cover band when I was 10, then 12 was Sugar Fix, renamed Drop Shot.
What was the cover band?
Oh man, I don't exactly.
Well, I guess,
remember the
what did
name.
you guys cover?
Oh, just like 80s, 70s,
Hell yeah.
70s and 80s top 40 more so.
Would you
And,
stop
You guys do Under Pressure? Because that would be dope.
Yeah, we
I love
did.
that song.
We did. And then it's just been a revolving door for the last 9 years. Original band, tour, cover band while I'm off, original band, tour, recording. And it's literally just been a revolving door.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. So with your drumming, I guess I could say, what genre did you start in? Did you start straight up in rock or
Jazz.
my man?
Same
My
with
man.
him,
My man.
And to this day, I will say I love jazz music.
In my opinion, I think it's the most technical.
It is.
I mean, there's a lot going on with it. It
is.
doesn't get as much appreciation as it should in the mainstream of things. But almost every fantastic drummer I've ever met in my entire life has a jazz background, because you get those independent limbs and you can start doing crazy stuff.
Dude, even the most talented guitarists, metal guitarists, are jazz players.
Mhm.
I seriously encourage anybody and everybody that can take a music appreciation class at some point during their educational career, they need to.
I fucking like this guy.
Yep. That's true. Well,
So did you I'm gonna ask a bunch of drumming questions.
Yeah,
I see that. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna get them right out of the way. Edgar brings me people that I like. I'm with this. So were you in band and stuff in high school? Did you do all that?
I went to a private umbrella high school, and
what is it? What exactly is that?
It's
Resident
it's like
Evil?
homeschool, but it's not.
Okay.
It was in a church. It was a Christian program. I'm not religious, by the way. And
So
I
he
played,
basically just said, "Fuck school."
my whole high school career, I've had a pretty intense touring schedule. There's probably not a lot of places I haven't been. In high school, like those 4 years. So that was the only curriculum and way of schooling that I could do that allowed me to tour and record at the pace I needed to. There wasn't restricting your touring only to summer or restricting only your recording to summer. Like, it had to happen when it had to happen. And that was the only way to make it happen. Because
Gotcha.
I'd go out for a month or two and my teachers are just like, oh, here's the required work assignments. Here's everything you have to do. Just bring it into me when you're done.
Yeah,
Simple.
nowadays it has to be homeschooled. Yeah, I totally get that because you definitely can't get that in public school. They'll be like, well, you got to do everything just like everybody else.
Right. No, that's true.
Now you continuing your education in music?
Yeah, I'm with Berklee College of Music right now, doing music business. And it's funny, we got on the topic of jazz too, because my last required elective is rock history. And we are all up inside jazz roots right now. Like, because jazz started rock.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, rock started a lot. Different types of music.
Gotta love jazz. So let's dig into the jazz. I guess not even just jazz, but everybody, especially like from a drumming aspect, like you have like those people that you watch who, I think when you get into your drumming career long enough, you start to develop like your own little signatures and your own little styles.
Yeah.
But it always starts with like a mimic or like who you're just trying to be and what you really get into and the types of grooves. Like for me, like I'm super into just like how groovy and how soulful Thomas Pridgeon is.
Oh,
And like he just feels so much.
he is such a nice guy, man. I swear. He's super cool. For me, it's evolved.
Oh yeah, it definitely changes. That's the best part.
It
You learn to
started with
appreciate
Phil
different things.
Collins, Liberty DeVito, who I'm really proud and like honored to say that I'm like super good friends with. And
Damn.
then it went to Rick Allen from Def Leppard, and that's the signature I picked up that I still keep is during a drum solo or in the middle of a fucking song. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, whenever I get the hair up my ass to do it, I'll do it. Depending on if I have a food or drink next to me, I will either put the stick in my mouth and just wave at people, make signs at people, like, I don't know, flip my dad off or something like that.
Bro, that would be so hardcore.
Dude, I swear there's a picture floating around somewhere of me doing that right there. But if there's food or drink next to me, I'll take a sip or I'll take a bite. It's my favorite thing because people are like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I can.
Exactly.
I'm
You're
hungry,
in
dude.
control.
I like that a lot because, like, I think, like, especially people think about shows and like there's a lot of time and everything that goes into the practice and making sure everything's like that. So like once you get to that point where it's like second nature, and then you're literally letting all your inner creative, you just go on autopilot.
Yeah.
This shit just happens. And once you can just lay back and it just becomes like a more like it's actually a performance at that point.
Right.
Because I mean, I can tell you like there's certain drummers where I just love everything that they do as far as like their technical work, but they're like the most boring robotic people I've ever seen like live, and it's just like
The drummer for Veil of Maya, man. Right there. Extremely intensely talented at doing all this technical stuff. I went and saw him and he was just sitting there. Like
I
a
get that
plank.
from like Dennis Chambers a lot too.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I'm more focused on Santana the whole time. But like Dennis Chambers is just really just like he's in it. Do you know who Santana is?
Yes.
Okay.
He's Mexican like you.
Damn straight. So I guess you've been touring a while,
Yeah.
and you actually had to find a school that accommodated your routine. I think an interesting question is always when did you really start to click and realize or like, shit, this is gonna be something I'm gonna do forever?
Man,
Because I mean,
probably-
there's the dream, and then there's the oh shit, this is actually going to
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, I'm pushing for that goal still, but there's still the anxiety of, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And it's a fun thing to write on, because it really just push you harder to do it.
Mhm.
But that really hit for me probably when I was about 10, and I used to do a lot of volunteering in the community, so I had connections with charities, and a charity hired my first cover band to play at Ed Smith Stadium for a charity they were having.
Okay.
And 10-year-old me is like, oh shit, like we're playing a stadium, dude. Like this is happening. There was like 100 people there, and
Yeah, I think people underestimate how many people 100 people is.
Right.
Yeah.
Still a lot.
yeah, but that's just when it really hit that I wanted to continue doing this forever. I mean, obviously my first show, it sends chills, gives you a little anxiety, and you have fun. You want to do it again, but I was still young then. I didn't know what I was going to end up doing, because it hasn't been a fight, but my only other passion that I put right up there next to music is cars. So I've always been interested in racing, always interested in that.
Like what type of like car stuff?
Dude, you name it. Seriously. SCCA racing, IMSA racing, Rolex racing, NASCAR, rally racing, World Rally Cross, even NHRA stuff, man. Like that stuff is so cool to me. But, I decided to do what Brian Johnson did, and that's music's going to go up here, and I'm still going to do car stuff when I'm not doing music stuff, because Brian Johnson, to this day, participates in the Rolex 24.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's really cool though, because it's like a lot of times like you get pushed so deep into like your passions and your career on where you're focused at, and people are like, oh, this is all you have to do, this is what you have to devote your time to, but then you have like those other outlets that help fuel the other thing and vice versa.
Yeah, dude. And it's
Why
I've
not?
been
Why not?
yeah.
Exactly.
Well, do you see yourself as more as somebody like a Josh Freese who jumps around a little bit and tours a lot with certain bands, or do you see yourself sticking around with maybe when the right project, or if you have currently a project that you're or a band that you're in, sticking with that?
The best answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
Because if you're in your off time with your own project, and another band, either same tier or higher
Mhm.
as you, says, hey, we're interested in you coming out on this tour with us.
Sure.
We don't have a drummer. It's just a fill-in situation, and we're going to pay you X amount of dollars.
Well, I mean, I think for Josh Freese, that originally started with like 9 Inch Nails or something coming to him. Like if Trent Reznor comes to you and says, hey, man, I need a tour drummer, you're not going to say no, right?
No.
So it's like, I just figured that would be, I was interested because of your history with doing so many different things. If that was going to be something that you would be doing, you see yourself doing forever, or you see maybe, the right project comes around, you just exclusively do that.
I mean, there's always going to be a main.
Sure.
Like, oh, this is Kei Bland of, well, for right now, it's, hey, this is Kei Bland of Avenging Benji. I've been with that band since I was 14.
Sure.
I'm 19 now.
Yeah.
So, and within those 5 years, I've toured with other bands.
Right.
As well. Avenging Benji being my main, because we go out to Europe all the time now. Our next tour is coming up in the spring, but they've always been my main, and they'll pretty much continue to be my main for as
Sure.
long as I can be there.
Right. Absolutely.
This is going to bring it into like a little bit of a segue that you and I have had conversations about multiple times. And I'm glad he's here because it really illustrates something that I've always tried to point out. You get people that are up and coming in the music industry, and, they see the big superstar stuff at the top, and they see where they're at, and they see that huge gap that they have to make up for, right? You know, how do I get to be this superstar? But there's that middle unspoken part where, you know, for most of our viewers and stuff, I mean, nobody knows who you are, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you're out here, you're touring Europe. You've been doing the music thing for years now, and in essence, you're living and breathing your dream.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take nearly as much of like that status level to actually be able to have a fulfilling career in music, because there's niche markets, there's things like that. And like that's why you get these. I've always had a problem with it. Like when you're growing up in school, you know, people try to deter you away from like the artsy careers and stuff. And that's because they always throw it back up. What, you think you're going to be this person on the radio? Well, truly, at the end of the day, we all do. But then at the exact same time, there's a very practical middle ground where if you work hard enough and you make the placements correctly, you can thrive.
Yeah.
You can thrive. Like, you're doing it, man.
Look at Billie Eilish, for example.
Plant. I'm going.
She, clout-wise, she is someone I am jealous of.
Of course.
She came out of absolutely fucking nowhere, dude.
Yep.
At 16, I think she went
16.
big.
16.
And she's huge. Not one person doesn't know who Billie Eilish is. It's like back in the day, nobody didn't know who Elvis Presley was.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that applies what you just said too. It applies to just about every sort of creative career that you want to do, be it film or documentaries or music or anything like that. It applies to all of them. There's a way to thrive in that middle, unspoken ground that is sustainable.
Man, music is just a cool place, man. It's right for everybody. You just got to find out where it's right for you.
Yeah.
Type of situation.
Yeah, man.
Because it can always work.
Right.
You just have to get yourself in the right position to understand where you work.
Like I said, it applies everywhere. I mean, if you want to be a famous photographer, not everyone's obviously going to go out and be Jimmy Chin. But but you can still make a very good career out of it, even if you're not. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if you're a documentary filmmaker, there's not a lot of people that are going to go out and be Werner Herzog or someone like that. But you can still be a good documentary filmmaker and make a living off of it.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, it's just the hustle. I mean, look at Cribs. You know, shout out to my homie Cribs. Like, I can't even remember the last time since I've known him if he's ever had like a real job. He just literally is out every fucking day shooting in the heart of Grand Rapids. And he'll just pick up gig here, nonstop. And then, like, I mean, he doesn't make a ton of money.
Well,
but
Lemon's another one.
Lemon too. But Lemon had a good job.
Right.
A really good job. And then he sacrificed a lot of it and did that. And then landed that other gig where now he's a part owner with Social Movement Media. Yeah. And he's got a whole fucking office and shit like that. Dope shit. I mean, it's just like, it's cool shit. And then look at everything where we're at now. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, we moved down. I moved down here a year ahead of Boom. Little backstory on us, and we were doing that the podcast thing. We were doing obviously he's been doing the music thing for a long time. I'm shooting music videos, whatever, up in Michigan. We have all of our contacts up there, and I moved down here.
Through the fucking Hail Mary.
Yep, through Hail Mary. Moved down here.
Caught it.
And then I was in his ear constantly because not only is he my best friend, but he's my business partner. So I was like, hey, man.
I'm not your best friend. Fuck you.
You got to get down here. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. And, then he moves down here and then we're way ahead of schedule. We link up with Edgar and we're doing it again and we're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
we're still very small. But it's not to say that we haven't accomplished much because we've accomplished a lot.
We've done
and it's
a lot.
like, but people are always going to minimize that. They're always going to minimize, oh, well, who are you?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, all I'm going to say is noted.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. Yep. Absolutely.
And the way I fell into this was Jeremy was designing shirts, and I said, hey, man, I could come up with quotes. All right. And that's how I got involved.
Here's how I think it happened.
Yeah, Edgar saw the merch before he saw anything else. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, by the way, we do this. And he's like, oh, you
I
do
know,
music?
he was sold
He's
into,
like,
into the stuff that we were just starting.
You've done 10 music videos. You've done like short films. You've done like
What are you doing
you
with
got
it?
a guy who
What are you
DJs
doing
and
with
does
it?
music. I'm like, my answer was nothing because boom, it just moved down here, and it's like one of those things where we were like, you know, we are starting from scratch again.
Yeah,
And
dude,
that's okay.
Edgar hit the full court press on me like immediately.
Yes.
Like I'd been down here 10 days. Edgar's like, well, what are you doing down here? Like, how you making this happen? I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not even moved in all
We
the
got to
way.
figure this shit out.
I was here what, like less than a fucking month before he sent me off somewhere to meet somebody?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we had done 15 podcasts before.
So you want to play music? You going to play music. Let's go.
we had done 15 podcasts before we ever had a guest. Now we've had a guest 2 weeks in a row, and that's just
Yeah.
networking. That's
That's
just fun. This
networking.
is
Yeah,
fun for
yeah,
us. It's like
absolutely.
meeting new people, and like
Yeah.
I want to know what your walk is.
Yeah.
Because what can I get from it? What can
Yeah.
I say? Not what can you give me, but what can I take from it and say, oh wow, he was able to make that a reality doing it in this path.
Right.
What can I take from that? That's positive.
And like
Absolutely.
I hope this glorifies and kind of, especially with the guest stuff, it kind of shows things because, you know, coming from Michigan, the vast majority of like creatives there, it's a very competitive, like, okay, you do what I do, so fuck you type of
Right.
situation. But we've always been on the same page where it's been like,
I'd rather collab than compete.
it just makes sense. You network for the net worth,
Yeah.
period.
That's what it is.
So it's hopefully, you know, you get more and more of that culture, you know, spreading out.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not going to jump to the defense of the culture, the creative culture in Michigan. And there's certain places that are like that. The Midwest happens to be one of them where it's like, okay, not many people have a whole lot there. There's not a whole, but there's, so people are like, wow, what can I do to get one up on him? Instead of how can I create with him? How can we all succeed?
And you know what I've noticed about that?
That's what it is up there. And but you get some of that everywhere, but it is also, it's you have to get rid of the toxic around you. And you're constantly doing this in life, in any business, in any job, in any circle. Get rid of what's toxic and move on.
I just had to go through that, man.
Yeah.
Literally
And so did
days
we
ago.
had an enormous circle when we first started. You know, we were trying to work with everybody. We had everybody that was on that same type of page where we thought it was that situation. Then it just slowly just compressed and compressed and compressed and compressed. Because not only are you just like weeding people out because like they're not like serious enough about it, but it's also like, you know, egos conflict and things of that nature. And I'm glad we're here. I think the big thing that I realized was, you know, the competitive culture in the Midwest is really odd because, you know, people talk about the seasons and how fucking awesome the seasons are. But like really everybody wants to fucking make it so they can get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's really how it is. But we have the Great Lakes. I don't give a fuck, dude. I have an ocean like 15 minutes away.
You're right.
Yeah.
A whole
Eat a dick.
fucking ocean too, man.
Yeah.
We got little islands everywhere too, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
A lot of sandbars.
yeah, I know. I mean, but every situation you run into is going to be what you make it.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's awesome to hear people like Kei coming in and saying, this is how I succeeded. And this is what I'm doing to continue my success.
I mean, in no way have I truly succeeded yet.
Oh, but
But-
you have though.
Oh, you've done a
I've
lot.
succeeded in goals. I've succeeded in a lot of goals, and that is touring, recording, and all that. But I haven't hit where I want to be on the success
Of
level.
course not.
And you never will because I feel like
You
it's one
just
of those
wanna
things where it's,
keep-
You
it's
wanna keep
always
going
going to
up,
go
of
more
course,
and more
yeah.
and more and more.
That's what separates the greats from the goods, though.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you're never going to truly succeed. You're never going to settle. We've run into that personally with artists that we've been around and worked with where they just want to settle.
Hashtag Joelana.
Yeah. And garbage. And
Fucking piece of
but
shit human.
again, you purge what's toxic. You purge the settle. I'm going to settle for this. You you get rid of the negativity, and you are constantly moving forward. And I feel like you're going to succeed in that way.
Thank you.
Oh, I get good vibes from him.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot.
You know the vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I actually do music business at Berkeley.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
There's unlimited possibilities, man. Not only can you protect yourself, but you can make a second business in the same business that you're already in.
Of course.
Right.
Like, you...
I fucking like this guy, man.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, there you go. Rick Rubin.
Yo, Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, I mean, he's done everything.
Yeah.
And he's done it all at the same... Basically, they overlap. Everything he's done has overlapped his other stuff.
I mean...
That's exactly what you're saying.
He's like done everything Kanye has done, just not nearly as loud and annoying.
Yeah, it's, crazy. You can actually help look after those other bands or artists that you're super tight with, man. They pay you for counsel and you keep them out of the shitter. They could be working with a shitty manager that's going to screw them over, or a record label that's going to screw them over. But if you're in the right business and you're doing the right thing, you're making money to stop that from happening because you are a musician too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get played either.
And like you have a good. I mean, I don't know like what your friend group with bands and stuff like that, but you're in a position where like you've experienced a decent amount of success to where you can take what you've learned, your trials and errors from that, and you can help others to be like, hey, I already tried what you're trying right now, and like this is my recommendation on how you can avoid these issues that I ran into.
Yep.
Like that's that everybody help everybody type of situation, because then that comes back tenfold later on, and then they're like, oh well, he looked out for me for here. No, I got this thing. Yo, bring your band to do this. Blah 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 blah. That's what it's always
it's
been
good
about.
Karma, dude. Seriously, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a universal
Yeah.
law.
All right, before we get into some of these crazy topics, I got one more question because it's going to take a minute to go through. He's a drummer. He won't tell you, but he can drum. He knows how. I taught that motherfucker how to drum. He can drum, and he has an extensive amount of knowledge behind it. What's your top 5
Oh, God.
ever? I need to know it. I'm starting with you.
Mine?
Top 5 drummers all time.
Oh, okay. These ones are going to be a little weird because they're not going to be the normal that you would hear.
So are they your top 5 or
Yes.
your unbiased top 5?
My biased top 5.
Okay, biased
Oh,
top
so
5. I like that,
we'll just
yeah.
switch it to top 5. You're like top 5. Switch it to more like top 5, like your favorite 5 drummers. That's what I want.
These can be in no specific order whatsoever. Luke Holland.
Yo, Luke Collins nuts, bro. So like
Yes.
he started with covers. He was doing shit with Texas in July type of shit.
Yes,
and then he
dude.
gets pulled onto a band just purely off
The
of
Word
that.
Alive. The
Whoa!
Word Alive, man. I fucking
Yo.
love The Word Alive.
Fucking
I almost
love
wore
this
it.
guy, bro.
I
You know
straight
Luke
up-
Holland? What the fuck?
I straight up almost wore my The Word Alive t-shirt
Oh
tonight.
man, I love Luke Collins so much.
I met him once, man. He is so fucking cool.
Real
in
down to
person.
earth dude, bro.
Man, my next one would have to be John Blackwell. I got the extreme honor to take lessons with him
Wow.
for 3 years.
Okay.
And if anybody doesn't know who John Blackwell is, he is Prince's longest
Yep.
time in seat drummer. And God rest both their souls, but he was a really cool guy, really cool teacher, really soft voice, but on top of that, man, that guy could play double pedal with 1 foot. He was doing all the runs I was doing on 2 feet with
Yeah,
1
dude.
foot.
Dude, that whole like heel toe slide that he
Yeah,
has,
dude.
like he can chuck that around. It's insane.
Another one would be Liberty DeVito.
Okay.
The dude's, I think, 68, and he still plays like a motherfucker.
Mm,
Seriously.
mm.
And he's been just kind of like an emotional support mentor type person to me since I was 9. Man, James Castles from Asking Alexandria
Yo,
hits that top 5.
this dude, I feel like he knows me, man. I mean, those aren't like my 5, but like you've hit like my post-hardcore just fucking throbber right now.
Yeah,
because
dude.
Asking Alexandria, he'll tell you, dude, I broke my nose at Warped Tour in the pit to candlelit dinner, bro. I got my
Fuck
shit
yes,
absolutely
dude.
stomped the fuck in, bro.
I'm talking the Black Album though,
Yo, with Breathless and shit like that.
with Dennis Stoff. I think it was Rolling Stone gave James Castles Drums on an Album of the Year award for that album. It was so technically tight. It fit everything so perfectly, and it really showed me the capabilities of his writing and what he can do live. And it was that really put him up there for me. And then, of course, Phil Collins, man.
Dude, Phil Collins, I feel like sometimes he's just somebody that when you get in that drumming conversation, like he just doesn't get the correct amount of appreciation because of how much other stuff he does with it that I feel like it kind of like desensitizes his overall skill level, but dude can bang it out.
How many superstars do you know are the front man of their band from behind the drums?
Yeah. I mean,
He
Chris
gets skipped
Cornell
over.
was before they fucking pushed his
He
ass
gets
up
skipped
front.
over a lot. I think it's different instrument, but another guy who gets skipped over a lot in that conversation of doing multiple things at once is Geddy Lee.
Oh,
Fucking Geddy Lee.
And I don't know why people think he's like, don't give him the respect he deserves on the bass guitar, but it's like,
that dude throws down licks that he shouldn't be doing while he's singing.
that's a fact.
Exactly,
That's
dude.
a fact. That's a fact. So it's like, I feel like that's like a common theme in music is sometimes the people that do multiple things, they get not as much love as maybe they should for each thing they do.
Yeah. But the most fucking overrated drummer ever. And I don't mean this in a truly bad way because I 100% love and respect Led Zeppelin.
Thank you.
But John
Thank
Bonham
you.
is so fucking overrated.
Thank you. Thank you.
That guy was a dick. He was
Not-
a serious dick.
Not only that, but he really wasn't. I mean,
He wasn't that great.
He was a good drummer.
John Bonham's not top 5.
No,
He's not top 10. It might be.
No.
But he's not top 10.
I would put Keith Moon over John Bonham.
Oh, all day,
7
every
days
day.
a week, all day, every day, bro. It just, yeah, no.
Just he like you said, he's not that great, man. He's really not.
That was a very hot take, and I appreciated all
He
of that.
is. He's a great backbone drummer. You know, he knows what to do. He knows how to keep the song rolling, and I respect him for that. And I respect him for the clout. Seriously, I do. But there are so many times I'm sitting there listening to Led Zeppelin. I'm like, God, I can't fucking stand this,
Sloppy.
dude.
Sloppy.
And you know, like I'll
That's the
even,
thing with Led Zeppelin, though, because Jimmy Page, as great of a guitarist as he was, also sloppy.
Yeah,
So,
very.
I think a lot of that comes down to, you know, that era as well. I'll give a little bit of that back to them because that was the era where everybody was literally fucked up 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of the stigma, too.
If you're going to be a spastic, sloppy drummer, I think you should be more like Keith Moon than John Bonham.
Oh, yeah.
Because
For
the way that he would
Well, Keith
just
Moon had a
spaz
mental
out.
disorder, bro. There was something.
Oh
wrong
yeah,
with
dude,
it,
you
bro.
blowing up toilets and driving cars into pools, bro. He's nuts.
He was banned
Like-
from the studio when they were recording vocals.
Yeah, yeah. That's a fact.
That's a fact. He wasn't
it
allowed
is.
in the studio.
So, but then again, I'm biased toward the Who anyway. So it's I consider them a much better band than Led Zeppelin. In my
So,
opinion.
all right, and hit me with your top 5 then.
Oh,
we're going around
Jesus.
the table.
I
This
don't
one.
know, bro. Like
Fuck you. You want me to go first?
off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I know the guy from I can't remember his name. The guy who was in Cream.
Ginger Baker.
Yes, Ginger Baker.
Rest
he-
his soul. Died yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Wow, that's scary. I would say him.
Did you not know that?
For sure, I did not know that. No.
Prolific.
Yeah. Obviously, I would go with Neil Peart, even though he is sometimes way too technical.
He's the GOAT.
yeah.
Let's just.
He really is.
He really is.
He's the GOAT.
And the fact that he's also the main songwriter and stuff like that, also impressive. Dennis Chambers is definitely up there for me.
He's just boring to watch, but technically speaking, he's so
Well, so is Neil
fantastic.
Peart, though. I mean, you take away
Neil
the...
Peart's
you
not
take
boring to
away-
watch, though, because he has 85 drums. And I'm just like, which
Well,
one's he going to
that's
hit?
it right there.
Also
That's
true.
it.
That's also true.
And he plays the xylophone.
Yeah. Now, Keith Moon would be one of my all-time favorites for sure, just because of that spastic nature. Danny Carey. Danny Carey, absolutely.
That's a bad motherfucker right there.
Yeah, not only is he like 6'7" and gargantuan, but he somehow is able to fit behind the drum set and just do things that I don't think any modern drummer can really do.
His
in the
drum
way that
set,
he does that.
his drum set's also massive. Dude
Yes.
has what's he have? It's like a fucking 28-inch fucking right foot kick drum.
Yeah, dude.
Like, why? You don't need that.
One of my really good buddies who's starting up a drum company
I think his China is
actually
massive
makes.
too. Yeah.
They make a standard 28-inch kick option.
Yeah.
That's so big.
No, I number 5 off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm gonna leave somebody out. Trying to think. I'm trying to go with another one a little more modern for this one. I think if you're gonna talk about modern drummers, everyone if you're going to hard that metal stuff, everyone kind of goes to either like a Travis Barker or a Joey Jordison, who I both think are severely overrated. Even though they're very good, I don't think they belong in that discussion. I would take System of a Down's drummer. I don't know his name. I would take him. I think he's pretty awesome. The stuff that they do. I'm trying to think of one more. You have to come back to me on that. On my 5th one. I'm sure you're probably going to mention them. We have similar tastes, so.
Yeah. Pretty much molded you.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's always cool, too, because
I like Atreyu's drummer a lot.
Oh, Atreyu.
I don't know his name, but I like their
I don't
drummer
know
a
his
lot.
name.
they
either,
sound
but I
so
love
good
Atreyu.
live, bro.
Yeah.
They sound so good live. They shouldn't sound that good live. They shouldn't.
Bullet for My Valentine is like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and Young the Giant.
I haven't seen them.
That was a concert I did not want to go to, but Young the Giant ended up becoming my favorite band for a while just because of how fucking good they were live.
Those are always the best bands too, because you'll go into it with expectation, I dig these guys, and then for me, that'll always be what dictates whether
It's
or not
so
that's
funny
a
to
band.
me every time we sit down with other musicians, because I always talk to you. And not that I don't respect your opinion or anything, but I always talk to you. We talk
But you
constantly.
see people with similar
But
things
I
that they said
see,
with me, and you
other
realize how right
musicians
I am.
come in and they always eventually go back to, I don't care if it's my genre. I don't care what kind of music it is. If they put on a show, they put on a show. We were talking to Marcus Wells that one time, and he had a show that day, and he was like, "Hey, you coming to our show?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Come on, man! That sucks, bro. I really, and value your support, stuff like that." And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to see 30 Seconds to Mars," and they're like post-hardcore band, and he's like, "Oh, dude, no problem. It's Jared Leto. It's a show. Go." You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one of those things where he was just like, "No, they put on hell yeah," So, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Who is Perfect Circle's drummer? That's Josh Freese, right?
That's Josh Freese,
Josh
yeah.
Freese. He's got to be up there for me too.
Josh Freese is just so versatile.
He's just a hybrid. Yeah, does fucking everything.
All right, mine is gonna be obviously Neil Peart's first.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying his name right.
Whatever.
A tie for first for me is Buddy Rich. Just Buddy Rich just brought so much to the table.
The OG. Yeah.
He's the first person to literally just, in my opinion, glorify drumming. Drumming was brought to such a forefront where it was just oh my God type of situation.
I mean, the drum solos.
Yeah.
Even Gene Krupa.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
Crazy.
Gene
He's not in my
Krupa
top
and Buddy
five,
Rich.
but Buddy Rich. Buddy Rich was just the most unorthodox, technical, just
He's a
specimen.
freaking wizard, dude. I mean, he's the original. He spawned your Neil Pearts and stuff.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, Thomas Pridgen's in my top 5. I just like how he grooves. A name that doesn't get talked about a lot in that top conversation, but I respect him as a drummer just so much is Tony Royster Jr. Tony Royster Jr. is just some of the most insane chops I've ever seen on a set. He's crazy.
Fucking Brent Easton, dude. let me tell you about that guy. Crazy motherfucker.
Y'all. And I think the five slot is always tough for me because I chalk it up between two people. It's either going to be Thomas Lang or it's going to be Mike Portnoy.
I've met Portnoy several times, and he is
Just
so
literally
cool.
anything Dream Theater does is just ridiculous. I just don't understand.
John
them.
Petrucci. Fucking John Petrucci. And he pumped out Jason Richardson. Jason Richardson was...
And didn't Dennis Chambers basically do Tony Royster Jr.?
He was like an understudy
Yeah.
for a smidge of time. I remember when Tony Royster Jr. was first like getting his claim to fame. He was the 8-year-old on every show that had licks than I'll probably ever have. Better licks than I'll ever have.
Yeah.
At 8 years old, that dude would absolutely dog shit on me. Like he was doing crazy stuff. But yeah, and I mean, you can see a lot of the resemblance from Dennis Chambers because his like favorite rudiment drill ever is like whenever they go, how do you build up your chops the way you do? And he doesn't practice on like drums most of the time or pads or anything like that. He drums on a pillow because it gives you zero back.
Yep. That is something I have been doing for a long time. Because you can do it anywhere, whenever, however.
Do you subscribe to Drumeo? Do you know the page?
I know the page. I'm not subscribed.
So like I was looking at that and they were talking about like at home things that you can do without like your stereotypical like drum equipment around. Like basically if you just have sticks. And there was the pillow was one. Another one was a couch.
Yep.
And it's like those low bounce back type of situations really bring your chops back. And like I haven't regularly drummed since I was probably 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost fucked now.
My little cousin, he when he started playing, he would practice with 2 pencils and a couch.
Yep.
I used to do that shit in school, man.
That's when they threw me into drumming because I would just tap on a desk all day.
Elementary school. I pissed so many people off in elementary school, man. They were always like, stop it, stop playing on the table. You can't do that. That's too loud.
Yep.
Just fucking sitting here playing with my pencils, dude. Like, relax. I can't be disturbing your day that much. But I would like to interject and say that my top 10 drummers can't even be organized in a 1 through 10 order of how much I like them.
No, because it depends on the mood. It depends on the feel.
But, you know, I have to say people I currently listen to and currently study will always take the top 5. But most every drummer that has been mentioned here is in my top 10 list.
Elite. Yeah. And that's just like that mutual, like, once you get to a certain level with everything, especially like once you appreciate the craft like that, like a lot of them usually come into the same.
And real quick before we jump off it too, that's why Danny Carey's so rated so highly for me is Tool's constantly changing time signatures, which is something that is
the most complex band. That band has made me want to quit music more than once.
Yes, they just, I mean, when you're constantly changing time signatures in a song, that's ridiculous. And that's something that is...
There's very obscure time signatures too.
Yeah.
Like there's some that have popped off in track. And then there's the what's the term? They do like a bunch of like polytempo shit.
Yeah,
And
polyrhythm.
It drops. It makes me want to just jump off a bridge. flat out. It makes me want to jump off the bridge.
Dude, I have a couple bands that do that to me entirely. Chon, Polyphia, Jason Richardson, his project with Luke Holland. They put out a song called Tendinitis, and I tried to learn it. I had to give up after 5 days.
It's rough because it's like, unless you're in like the writing process, I feel like, or if you're like, I can't figure out where you stand ground at and where you're supposed to follow. Because like, say for instance, Tool's new album, right? There's a track called Invincible, and that's polyrhythmic a lot. And the beginning, there's 3 separate tempos.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to figure out where's your like link up spots, like who's following what, because at some point like you have to be so like solo with what you're laying down and just
That's how they record, though.
yeah, but they do it live.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you're saying it's so almost solo at, you know, but that's how they record. The drums and the bass go first, and then the guitarist comes in, and then Maynard comes in with the vocals after everything's already laid down, which is a really bizarre way, I think, of recording.
Yeah, but I mean, they've already put the song together by then. That's what I'm saying.
Not always. That's what I'm saying. Is like Danny Carey and Justin Chancellor will get in the studio separately, and they will do their thing, and then they will just kind of layer on top of that, which is really bizarre. It's just bizarre.
Tool in general just needs to be appreciated as one of the greatest bands.
Yeah, I have to agree to that.
I saw them live, and I literally, for the first time ever in my entire life. So I went to Northern Invasion last year in Wisconsin, and I got to experience something that hasn't happened, apparently. So first night, the headline was A Perfect Circle, and then night 2, the headline was Tool. So I saw both Maynard projects in one night. I mean, obviously I didn't see Pucifer, but and he had his winery there, so I'm just getting here.
That's a good honorable mention right there.
Anything Maynard touches is an honorable mention. I'm getting shit-faced off his wine.
Yeah.
Because he brought his wine there.
Nice.
And then somebody walks across the crowd while 46 and 2 is like getting started in his first couple notes. The guy with a Tool shirt behind me, he's like, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way." I'm like, "Bro, we're in the back. Relax." He's ready to fight this guy. I'm like, dude, it's a cult following.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody makes a single fucking noise in between songs. None. And that threw me off so much because there's no crazy cheer or anything after every song. It's quiet.
That's weird. Yeah.
It's fucked.
That would throw me off too, man.
It was amazing though. I was like, I don't even want to breathe. I want to be Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
I want to breathe. All right, let's get to some crazy shit because we've been talking about drums for like an hour. And I am so happy about that.
I'm sorry.
I have needed that so much.
Oh, holy shit, man.
Yeah. So what should we talk about first? What do you want to get into? Do you want to get into something a little serious? Do you want to get into something not serious?
Not serious.
All right. Let's talk about...
So tell me about Ellen DeGeneres at the Cowboys game with.
I mean, that's kind of serious. But,
That sounds funny to me.
First off, Ellen, I'm upset because he applied and you didn't put him on the show.
Yep.
Also,
We're already pissed there for that.
people are they're upset because she was seen in a sweet box with George W. Bush, and George W. Bush was known he implemented a few things that basically were against gay marriage.
Okay.
Now, I get both sides of the situation, but the way Ellen addressed it, I feel like that was definitely the right way to address it. So she comes on her show, yesterday, and she says, we're always told that we need to. Basically, I'm just gonna summarize it.
You paraphrase, yeah.
You just need to. You need to treat everybody with respect, and you need to treat everybody how you want to be treated. And that doesn't only apply to people that you line up with on viewpoints.
She's 100% correct.
Yeah. This is big. This is big. It was adult for her. She said also, she's like, I was the only Packers fan in that booth.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I mean, there was a bunch of, just Twitter going crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't see why any of that shit has to be an issue, dude.
Everything's always an issue.
I know.
It's the internet now. People are looking for a reason to be upset.
It's kind of shitty, man.
I mean, that was a quick one. I mean, it kind of came and went. Because, you really can't come at Ellen DeGeneres.
No.
She's done too much.
She's pretty much
And she's
immune.
She's a straight arrow. And when you question her with stuff like that, she'll come out with a statement like that, and you're like, "Oh, I'm a piece of shit." You're right. I mean, also, we'll jump past. I mean, Instagram dropped dark mode.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw that pop. I saw it pop off on Twitter. I was like, "How do I get this?"
I didn't even like go into a setting to get it because
No, you don't have to. So basically, what Instagram does, you have to get the new update, and once Instagram updates, whatever setting your phone is set to is what Instagram updates to. Which is
Nice.
why I will tell creatives once again: if you are a creator and you have a fucking Android device, you're losing because Instagram, Facebook, all of the major social media websites, they cater to Apple. Period.
Pretty much.
That's why your photos look like garbage. I don't want to see
Shut
your
up.
pixelated fucking mess. Edgar? Your Note 9
that
technically
alone.
has a better camera than my phone, but your pictures look like booty hole.
I don't care about that.
yeah, I woke up this morning, went on Instagram, and it was black.
You're just like,
It's like, oh
Let's go.
shit, cool.
eventually I just want everything dark mode. I changed my Gmail app to dark mode.
So what does this dark mode do?
And it makes everything dark.
dude.
That's it.
Look,
Yeah, bro.
I'll show you.
It's better for your eyes.
So, like
Dark.
It's all rough.
You like that? I like it to match my soul.
Okay,
What am I-
good. So you got dark. So I like,
You like light?
yeah, I'm blind.
Maybe you wouldn't be blind if it was in dark mode because it'd be better for your eyes.
Think so.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, man. Here's one that, did you guys see what, I don't even know this girl, Trisha Paytas.
No idea.
I probably said that name wrong. This one pisses me off because, like, so like my background with DJing, like where I started to gain my recognition was in the LGBT community.
Sure.
Like they were
Yep.
the first ones that really hunkered in and supported me. And that's like my second family. I love Spiral to death.
Mm.
You know, that's my place. But so she comes out and she's transgender and says, yes, I identify as a female, but I also identify as my original gender. And it's like, what?
I don't get it. I don't understand the argument half the time. I don't understand why there's an argument. I think people should be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And
Well,
think
no,
we
I
should
get
be able
that,
to do it.
but it's
Like,
more so the both sides of the situation. You can't claim that you're transgender and changed your whole gender. So she
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
did
yeah,
the
yeah.
operation shit, and then you'd be like, but I also identify as the other, and it's just like that brings up an interesting topic where there are people that have fetishes for that entire situation.
I don't know, man. Like I said,
Bunch of fuck shit.
yeah, like I said, I think it's situations like that that are gonna constantly hold that whole movement back. And I think it's fewer and far between than the news will lead you to believe. But I also, like I said, I just think people should be able to do whatever they want and not be persecuted for it. I don't really care. It's not. I mean, do what you want to do. If you're not affecting me, then do what you want to do.
Not my business.
Yeah, not my business.
I don't
Be
give a
happy.
fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Be happy.
Like, well, I don't think they should be able to marry. It's like they should be miserable too. I don't care.
Seriously.
Who cares?
Who cares, bro? Who cares? Michael Chi. Do you know who he is?
No.
He's a comedian.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a comedian. You abruptly said no. That was
No.
rude. So he's like, hell. He's like, go marry a goat. I don't care. he's like, that's better than what I do. He's like, I eat the motherfucker. He's like, all I'm saying is if I'm a goat and you come up to me, he's like, you either gonna get chopped up and eaten by this guy, or this weird farmer's gonna suck you off. He's like, there's a clear contender for which one I.
Jesus. Next.
Next. Did you see what happened with Adobe?
Yes. The Venezuela, and they are basically suspending the accounts of Venezuelans.
Yeah.
Why?
Here?
I didn't see why. I have an idea. I
I have the actual document.
I think it's probably because something to do with the government situation down there, I'm guessing.
I mean, yeah.
They don't want people creating propaganda videos. or
This is the
something.
actual letter that came out. And what was fucked is a lot of people didn't know if it was real or not because there wasn't a public statement on it. Like I'm just seeing
course
Twitter like support Adobe page coming in and tweeting back, yes, this is a real thing. Like, how is that not a transparent situation that's happening? And it says, dear customer, due to the recent presidential executive order in the United States, Executive Order 13884, regarding activities with the government of Venezuela, Adobe is no longer permitted to provide you with access to software and services or enable you to make any new purchases. Blah, 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 blah.
Interesting.
How? That one's, I don't get that one.
I feel like I don't have as much information as I should on this, but I know they definitely have a pretty serious situation in Venezuela right now. And I know that we're at odds with their government, as most Venezuelans are as well.
Right.
But like, how does
that affect the people subscribing to Adobe, you know, and how does that help? I don't know. I don't understand the motive behind
I don't know.
it.
I don't like that one. I feel like that'd be a situation that I'd probably end up calling Donovan about and see what he knows.
Yeah.
That would be our buddy Donovan is actually like born and raised from Venezuela, so he actually has a lot of like insight from that area because he's constantly talking to his dad who still lives there. So, I mean, I don't know. It's an odd one.
I guess I don't see the point.
I feel like he knows about it too because I mean he's immediately affected by a situation like that.
No, he doesn't use Adobe. I've had the conversation with him multiple times.
Donovan, why? Why?
He's on Final Cut.
He edits his photos? Where's he? He doesn't use Lightroom?
He probably uses Lightroom. I don't know.
I was like, dude, just snap seeding it up. I don't know. No. But I mean, keeping it political for a minute. I mean, did you see what Trump tweeted? No, you didn't, because you're not on social media anymore. His great and unmatched wisdom is what he referred to himself, though. I was like,
are we surprised at this point?
no, but dude, literally everything's a joke at this point. I just don't get it. I'm living in a satire and it's fucking frustrating.
They're all a joke right now.
I don't get it. All I know is the ego on that man is a force to be reckoned with.
Dude, that thing's got to be this big. They're just, you just see videos of like him trying to hold Melania's fucking hand and she'll like slap it away. I was like, dog. Nah.
Yeah, that's a cold shoulder right there.
And it's been
ain't it,
happening
Chief.
for a while.
Oh, yeah.
That ain't it, Chief.
No.
That prenup must blow.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's no way. I mean, the other big one that kind of irritated me was the Penn State fans sending the letter to that athlete. Did you read about that?
Was it a Penn State athlete? Or what? No, it was the University of Pitt. It was Pitt.
Was it Pitt?
I think it was.
I don't think it was.
I think it was after the Pitt game.
No, it's Penn State.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They were sending it to an opposing player, though. Not
No,
their
they
own.
sent it to a Penn State player.
Oh, they sent it to their own? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did they send?
They sent like a very friendly letter, but it's fucking racist as shit. And there's a big argument about whether or not
friendly, polite would be the word. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says, Dear Jonathan, my wife and I are proud older graduates of Penn
Oh,
State.
here we go.
We follow all Penn State sports.
Amish country.
Okay.
We love it all. I played all the sports in my younger days, still played full court basketball in my 50s. Loved the competition, but never had the size or the talent to reach your level, though the desire was there.
Excellent qualification. Take notes.
Yep, at this point, I just want to hear everything you got to say, bud.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Though the athletes of today are certainly superior to those in my days, we miss the clean-cut young men and women from those days. Watching the Idaho game on TV, we couldn't help but notice your, awful hair. Surely there must be mirrors in your locker room. Don't you have parents or a girlfriend who've told you those shoulder-length dreadlocks look disgusting and are certainly not attractive? We can just stop there.
Yeah.
What a fucking dick.
Yeah.
That's like tier 1 dick move.
That's
Let's not forget that there's another dude on Penn State who is white. I say it right now. He's white and he has long hair. And it's just all over the place, and it's snarly. Dude hasn't combed his hair in a couple weeks. It's snarly. It's not dreadlocks.
And he didn't get a letter, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there
They're
we
getting
go.
smarter with hate speech, bro.
Bro, that I don't see the point in that, and it's
and people
pretty
are
much a dick move.
And people are arguing that it's not racist, and I'm like, how?
Okay. The first thing is, like, why are you going to go after an athlete's image? If it's allowed by the officials, why should you have input on it?
Everybody needs a reason to complain, man.
That's all it is.
Dude.
Seriously.
I miss sports when it was all white athletes. That's basically what they want to say.
Yeah. Clean cut. Yeah.
Clean cut is pretty straightforward, bro.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I don't know.
That's annoying.
It is almost 2020. This shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't be happening. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Agreed.
Did you see the stuff that came out about the new James Bond film?
Mm-mm.
Well, they gave it a release date.
Okay.
It's called No Time to Die.
Yep.
April 2020. Also, when it's supposed to be released, hits a very specific anniversary for the original James Bond film, Dr. No.
Okay.
So now the speculation is, are there going to be hints of Dr. No in it? More so, you, as a filmmaker, would you like to see some sort of homage to the Dr. No?
No, it wouldn't. I am not a huge Bond fan. I'll qualify with that, but
They're so beautiful, though.
the last couple have been. No, I don't think I would like to see that. Give me something original and inspired, and I'll be happy. But the last movie was not original or inspired, so I wasn't happy.
And you know, I think
It was
that's
beautiful, but it wasn't inspired. So
that's why this Bond series has probably been my favorite. A lot of them haven't lined up with anything previously.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've liked.
Plus Daniel
I
Craig,
liked
bro.
Skyfall. I didn't love it. I loved Casino Royale, but those were really the only two in this Bond series that were worth anything to me.
Bro, Skyfall
I
is
liked
one of the prettiest movies
Well,
I've
that's
ever
what
seen.
happens when you put a camera in Roger Deakins' hands. So
Yeah, but like, I mean, it was like,
Roger Deakins is the best cinematographer ever. So you put a camera in his hands and it's going to look good.
Yeah.
Not a great movie, though. Good. Not great.
I have no taste in movies, so I always think they're great. I like every movie, man. I mean, I don't,
Quantum of Solace was trash. We can all agree on that.
I've never watched a movie and not enjoyed it. Besides Skyline, that was the worst movie I ever watched. I walked out of the theater.
Did you like Abduction with Taylor Lautner?
Never seen it. That's one of those stop while you're ahead type of things.
Yeah.
It's like, he looks like a llama. I'm just not gonna watch it. You know? I mean, I watched The Twilights.
The Twilights were hilarious. No, seriously, the comedic value in those movies are very underappreciated.
That series is pretty cool.
Every time that Taylor Lautner ripped his shirt off, I would literally laugh, like, because it was fucking hilarious. Like, it was that bad. It's like one of those movies that was so bad it was good. It was like so entertaining.
Isn't there a drinking game for that?
Yes, there is.
There's a drinking game for everything. That's what makes America great.
There you go.
Not water, Edgar.
Water's fine.
I mean, we got a ton of more topics, but we're kind of like deep in this. How long
You got one, Edgar?
How long you want to
Before we
run
hit
this
the music?
motherfucker?
No, I don't. Not this week.
Yeah, because I'm the only one that did any work.
You did a great job.
So James Blake, this one was, and I think I've experienced this, and I can't experience it currently. So I'm gonna kind of project this back to Jeremy, and I'll project this back to you as well. So James Blake was in an interview, and he discusses how your partner, your significant other, often goes uncredited for their contribution to the creation of art. And how he expressed that was more so, I agree. And how he expresses that is because usually in those type of situations, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but like when I was in a relationship and when I was making music, that was usually the first person that heard it. Or they were the first person that was there while I was making it type of situation. They're also, the person that's there because especially if you're a creator, you go through a lot of doubt. You go through a lot of self-doubt. And that's the person that kind of, if they're truly somebody that's supposed to be by your side, they're somebody that reels you back in and brings you back to home.
And I like this conversation because I think Edgar's going to be able to contribute to this in a few months when he has more of that creative. Yeah. Because Edgar just started this. Like you said, this has always been a dream of yours. Right. And now you're making it happen, right?
Absolutely.
I remember when he gave me the call, he's like, "Who do you know?"
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Edgar's never really done too much of that. He, like you said, he used to write poetry when he was a kid and stuff like that. But he's just now starting to do the podcasting and the stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to drop back in on this conversation 6 months from now when we have 6 more months of podcasting and saying, okay, wow, yeah, my wife really did inspire me or help me or one, you know what I'm saying with that? Right. But I will agree. I'll go a step further than you went.
I was going
on this is you were saying that not only are they the first to see it, they're the first to hear it, they're the first to lift you up when you're down.
They're usually somebody to inspire it.
But I was going to go there.
I've wrote 2 albums about women.
Yes. Well, that's because you're corny. But
wait, don't laugh. Don't laugh.
But does it work?
But yes. So, but no. If you're in something, whether it be, it can be short term or long term, and I can speak for the long term thing. You go through like a lot in relationships.
Yeah, you've been in a long one,
and especially if it's like one of those things where, obviously you go through your ups and downs in relationships, but in the long term, they evolve with you, in a way, and that's always like. It's another thing to overcome in your relationship, but it's also like something to overcome in your art. So it kind of how they inspire you is so like it's just there's so much of a gray area there. Oh Jesus, he's filling up his cup again. But no, I mean inspiration is tough. I mean, are they going to be your muse or are they going to not?
Yeah, and I actually have. Both sides of this story. My ex, she didn't really support me that much. And don't ask me why I spent almost 2 years with her.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to tell you.
Yeah.
Hashtag relatable.
But I will say, through the amount of times that she cheated on me, I got some great fucking material out of that. I will say, but there was no end to feeling like her making me feel like shit at the end of the day because I decided to pursue my career instead of be with her. But I'm in a new relationship. It's been going on for about 2 months now. I have never had somebody outside of my family so fucking supportive towards what I do. And it's inspired more positive creativity where I'm back to practicing.
It's an interesting thing when that changes.
There's music.
It's hard to handle sometimes because you don't know how to use it.
It can be overwhelming. Yeah, it can be overwhelming. And again, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have my significant other is very supportive.
Hi, Mom.
Yep.
I call his girlfriend Mom all the time.
Yeah, because she moms him constantly. He needs it. So, but no, I'm fortunate enough to have someone who's, I mean, and it hasn't always been like constant, always like support because I've done my share of fucking up too, and you know what I'm saying. But it's also like, okay, if you're going to include me and we can do this together, and it can further our relationship, then there's an undying support there that is unbelievable. It is very much will turn into a muse of sorts, and I'm fortunate enough to have that. I really am.
2 things. Find somebody who wants to grow with you.
Correct.
Whether it's in the same industry or not, that person is goal-oriented.
Bro, how is he 19?
Yeah, right?
I'm trying to figure this out.
But the other big thing is familial support.
Hold on. Hey, you have a keeper in here. Just gotta let her know.
Familial support, man. My dad has traveled fucking everywhere with me, and he worked as my drum tech
Yeah.
every show.
Damn, does your dad play drums too?
No, neither of my parents paid.
But he's
to
your
play.
tech?
Yeah,
That's fucking lit.
He
'Cause
learned
that's
with
not
me.
an easy fucking job.
He learned with me, dude. So did my mom. My mom learned the music business
So he
side.
knows like how to tune and everything. Wow, that's hard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tuning is hard because especially like if you have an artist that has a very specific like sound, stuff like that. Like,
Oh man, I've come out on stage and tested my drums, and
what the fuck,
I'm
Dad?
like, Dad, why does this sound like shit? And he's like, oh, hold on. And then he comes in and he fixes it. But then my mom took over the music business side for me until I could really understand what was going on. And she did a great job too. But she's also been my other side of the emotional support. And she has pushed me to get better even when I thought I couldn't. So that familiar support helps a lot as well because you know that your family is still proud of you. The two people that mean the most to you in your fucking life are proud of you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they push you to keep getting
And
better.
if you can, like I said, if you can, the familial support is huge. But it's also like my dad has always supported me. I mean, he's bought cameras for me. He's done, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's done.
Your
just
dad's a
about
real one.
anything that he's been able to do. To help me.
Donald's the OG.
And but yeah, I mean, just jumping back into that, when you find a significant other that really supports you and you guys can grow together and you guys can inspire each other and you can do it, man,
That's it right there,
It's
man.
So,
unbelievable.
I think
It's
there's-
unbelievable. Like I said, I am fortunate enough to have that.
The other
That's
part
awesome.
of the situation is like, granted, I've dealt with this more than anybody in this room because I'm a complete fucking idiot most of the time.
Facts.
But usually, the women that you bring into your life, although they seem great on paper, are usually people that fantasize about the type of lifestyle that you're currently in. They want everything that you have to offer. And, you know, I didn't go on tours in Europe and shit like that, but like, I've done festivals. I play every single weekend for the longest time. But it's one of those things where you have that entire like situation where, yeah, I want to be a part of this, blah, blah, blah. But do you know how many times I have to cancel things or I had to cancel things because it truly is a job. This is what means everything. And most of the time when people come into a relationship with somebody that's being a creative, they don't understand the time commitment. And it's a lot. Like, if time is an issue for you, go fucking marry or date somebody that works in a factory 65 hours a week. Because that's a lot, but that's not a creative a lot.
Well, and I can just speak from, like I said, somebody who's been in a long-term relationship, and it's like, okay, how do you overcome that? Because obviously you're going to be needed in that fashion.
And that's a hard thing to juggle. Lots of kudos to you.
The
That's
way
difficult.
to do that is most of the time, your significant other, they just want to be a part of it with you. And if you can include each other in what you do daily and work together and do that, I mean, you'll find that it's much, much easier.
Date a woman with a brain.
And-
You're
and-
right. You're right. That's where I fucked
Date a
up.
woman with a brain, yep. Yep.
I actually, the prime example is I missed my ex's senior prom and graduation because I was in Europe. But what did she do? Because she wasn't goal oriented. She didn't understand what was going on. She went out and cheated on me because I wasn't there.
Huh?
Sounds like you dodged a bullet, man.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's also
Hindsight truly is
just
20/20.
like insanely just like I fucking love this guy, man. He just gets it. And he's like 19 and it's just crazy. And like I'm like looking back on where like I was at 19, or you can look back where you were at 19. Like I wasn't as gathered as you are, man. Like you're
I was a fucking idiot at 19,
you're
bro.
yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. I knew you.
Yep.
Like my best friend is the same way. He's goal oriented. He is
And you're
a
gonna
car
have that
salesman.
dude forever because I've had Jeremy literally since the day I met him.
That dude is a car salesman. works every day that he can. He's the top salesman at his dealership. At 19.
You got to hustle hard, man. I mean, and you definitely need someone that understands that. I mean, I've been blessed with a good wife too. She respects that. You know, hey, I got to go out there and make this money.
You need one of
No.
these is what you need.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those yet, and it's definitely made this entire business flourish more. You know, you have somebody that has a completely different walk of life that has a lot of bigger insight and things of that nature, and it's just it's huge. You know,
Yeah, you know, Edgar actually has kind of been that for me in a way. Believe it or not.
Thank you.
I see you hustling.
I would come down to the dealership and hang out with him because he had cool cars and him and I got along. We fucked around with each other.
He was trying to sell you a car.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Realistically, he was, but he was doing it in the nicest way possible.
Shelby, I
I came down specifically because they had a Shelby GT 350R in
check it
there.
out.
And he's like, listen, man, I saw what you do on YouTube. That's just cool, man. I hope I get to sell you a car one day. Like one of these. Not one of those, one of these. I was like, don't worry, man. You will. He's like, I better.
No, Edgar's definitely got a way of motivating people.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Edgar's like the only good Puerto Rican I've ever met.
Just don't fuck with the bad side. That's all I gotta say.
You go get a Colombian necktie.
Like all the other ones, like it's just like ooh, and then there's Edgar. He's
Well, Edgar's very results oriented. Okay, like, okay, we're doing this. What's the result? What's the end game? What's this?
That's
What's
right.
that? And sometimes
What's the plan?
Well, sometimes I have to check Edgar and be like, bro,
You're going too fast.
stop, slow down. And then other times I realize when he says that shit, I realize, fuck, man, I'm going too slow.
Yeah,
So it's like, you know, it's a good medium
yeah.
always. So we're gonna get to songs.
What you got?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
gonna be
we're-
first this week.
Am I gonna be first this week?
Yeah.
No.
So what we usually do
You
is
saved
we
the
pick
best
something we've been
for
listening
last.
to over the week or whenever.
Okay.
You can definitely plug your own stuff. You can play your own stuff if
Yeah.
you want.
let's
Um,
engage the audience out the gate since you know we've been deep into this for a minute. Let's give them the goods right out the gate. What do you want, man? What do you want? I'll give it to you. You can have Edgar if you want. You can take him.
He says, fuck you.
Well,
No, it's not even what you want, bro. Plug yourself. That's what I want.
yeah, I would like to plug myself.
Absolutely.
I'm extremely proud of this. This is my first music video. And believe it or not, we actually filmed this on a sandbar.
Oh yeah.
Like legit, straight up on a sandbar. Head Above Water is the name of the song. And it's by my band, Avenging Benji.
I'm gonna tell you right now. In the future, that's who you want. So him and I have been doing the creative thing for almost 10 years and go from making backyard worst things we've ever seen type of situation.
I
to
came
like-
up doing short films, action films.
Good.
And I got into music videos, fell in love with it. We recently pulled down quite a bit of our stuff that was on our channel.
Oh, I watched this the other day.
You did?
Yes, I
sent
did.
it to him.
Yes, I did.
Ah!
I watched this.
Yeah.
So you're kind of familiar with it.
I am familiar. I watched it all the way through once.
Now, here's the thing. I recorded all of these drum parts when I was 14.
Oh wow.
These have been sitting in the burner for that long.
Are you signed to a label?
No.
So where do you guys record at?
There's a pretty cool studio in Sarasota. This guy, Lenny. Lenny
Like, if
Long.
you ever need an engineer in the booth, I
Yeah.
kind of know what the fuck I'm doing sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, most times. I mean, yeah. Right? I mean,
You make me sound all right. So on the mic,
oh, this is the easy stuff, though.
yeah. Besides that, you suck. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's pretty good.
That's that mic.
So yeah, this album's gonna come out in January,
Okay.
and that's why I kind of hinted at another tour coming up in the spring. Is we're gonna try and go back to Europe in the spring.
Is there gonna be any dates in Florida?
I mean,
Do you want to
Play.
do dates in Florida?
yes,
All right, I'll find some.
yes. We play around the state every now and then. But
I have an
usually-
innate ability to literally meet anybody. It's
Yes.
weird.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
I've been in so many places I don't belong because I'm just too obnoxious to ignore.
Huge facts. Yes. Way too obnoxious to ignore.
It's a good time.
And that's how we became friends.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck you. All right. So Avenging Benji, Head Above Water.
Sick. It's fucking nasty, dude.
I like that. I like that song. Like everything about
Yeah,
that. It
that's
was
a dope
very
video too. We're gonna have all of his
yeah.
links in the description as
It's
well.
it's
Oh,
cool
yeah.
because like, you know, like at the beginning, like I didn't want to like say anything about like what I had heard of his stuff, but like when Edgar sent me his stuff, he's like, you know, he plays metal music immediately out the gate because I know a lot of metal artists, obviously. You know, I'm thinking he's either going to be somewhere like deeply into the hardcore scene or something like that. And this was a breath of fresh air.
For sure.
I
'Cause-
appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
I
for-
appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys did a really good
Sure.
job.
But I mean, so him and I, we know a lot of people in the hardcore scene, and it's because of our mutual friend. You know, Steph is more than
Introduced us to a lot of people.
we've met a lot of people in the scene, and you know, some of my homies like you know, IC Stars, right? Like
Yeah.
Devin and all of them. Like I know all of them. Like they're from Michigan, so like we know all of them. But like this was so cool because, like I said, like the whole Judas Priest like vocal style, like it reminded me of a late '80s, like early '90s, like metal vibe.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you, man, that shit's still huge in Europe. Huge.
Yes, it is.
So when I tell
Europe
you,
is really the best music scene.
our
period.
Europe tours are so fucking crazy, dude. I swear to God, so fucking crazy.
So dope. I'm envious. No, I'm not envious because that implies that I'm negative about it. No, but it's awesome. I love it.
I appreciate that, man.
All right,
Who's
who's
next?
next? Edgar?
We have
I don't know the song by I don't know.
I thought I sent this to you.
No, you didn't. It's probably because you have an Android phone.
Shut up.
Is it called Yes?
Yes.
You sent this to me yesterday. Is that what you're trying to say? Because you didn't send me anything yesterday. Because it came out one day ago.
No, that's not it.
See, that's the thing. Edgar just be plugged in so much shit.
I do too much.
It's probably the song. It probably is. They probably just released the music video. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Who is
There you
this?
go.
It's an ad.
Is that an ad? Damn, 15-second ad.
We can talk about that later. But
It's
so we
Fat
got
Joe.
Fat Joe, Cardi B, Anuel AA. Song is called Yes. And honestly, anything Anuel has done lately is
Yeah.
It's yes.
Unwell's been
banger.
killing it.
And some Fat Nick and Shake Well.
He's got Cool and Dre, and they from Florida.
that was solid. I was liking that. Do you like that, Jeremy?
Yeah. Oh, that's
I
fire.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a Cardi B fan either.
Oh, I like Cardi. That's good.
Cardi's trash.
Cardi's not trash.
No, she's not, man.
I just like disagreeing with Edgar
all
literally
the pop
everything.
shit that they try to put her on and put her in that lane, that's trash.
I'm playing a Drake song.
Cardi
man.
can
I'm just
rap.
letting you know.
All right, go ahead.
No, I'm not.
So you want that?
I'm not.
You put
Well, what
whatever
do you
want.
play?
Joe Budden, Broken Wings.
Yo. You are a very clever human being sometimes. It is that dude has some of the best music taste I've ever seen. He'll take he doesn't pick his
Appreciate the
song.
sample on this.
He doesn't pick the song at the beginning of the episode, and we usually do. We usually know where we're at, but like I've noticed since the beginning, he'll wait for the entire podcast to be done, and then he'll pick his
Yeah,
song
make it
because
cohesive, yeah.
bases it off of that. It's crazy. I hate you, by the
First of all, the lyricism in this is
way. Woohoo,
Mhm.
dude. You
That was good. That was
you
fire.
are my
Good
least
song.
favorite, most favorite human. Because like you just do things. You get me. All right.
Well, I gotta stay on my hip hop shit, but that song's got substance.
Now I'm gonna do something that I haven't done before.
Okay.
Give me a genre, I will play the song.
Man,
Because I'm stuck. I have a few.
I actually
Because we talked about jazz, we talked about rock, we talked about metal, we talked about rap. I've been listening.
you know
to
what? Let's
shit.
I suggest rock,
Rock. How hard?
As long,
like
as,
Luke Holland hard.
long as it's not 30 Seconds to Mars, because those motherfuckers pulled all of our music out that episode.
Yeah, Jared's being gay, bro. I love you to death.
No, that would be Virgin Records that did that.
Yeah.
What song do I want to do?
I nailed the copyright on that.
Dude, Not the American Average brings back so many memories.
Dude, it's one of my favorites, but it's not the one I usually pick.
Ah, yes. Yes, this is a really good song, dude.
So the reason I picked this one after you said that is like, the thing that I think Asking Alexandria doesn't get enough credit for is post-hardcore was too early.
Yep.
It was too early. It would still be thriving right the fuck now if it would have been like a couple years later. Because
Actually, it kind of is still thriving.
in certain aspects, yeah. So like when I went to Northern Invasion last year, the reason I went last year is because I saw so many post-hardcore bands that I was so nostalgic about. Asking Alexandria was there, although they didn't play anything off Stand Up and Scream.
Oh fuck no, they're playing off the new album, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's the return of Danny Worsnop.
Yeah, yep. Because he doesn't drink anymore, apparently. I mean, you can tell he lost a lot of weight. You can tell he doesn't drink every day anymore. But I mean, he was there. Parkway Drive's there. I mean, Parkway isn't post-hardcore, but like yeah. And then who else was there? Icy Stars was there. Like literally, you name it, they were there. Atreyu was there.
How about Architects?
Architects was not there.
know
Hawthorne
they had
Heights was there.
What?
Yeah, bro.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Fucking Avenged Sevenfold was there.
Ah,
Dude, they have a certain place in my heart. Like
Only-
Oldwood when Rev was on shit.
only the Rev is the Avenged Sevenfold that I can take a look and not go poser.
I'm just, dude.
I know that's a strong word.
You guys naming all these bands makes me want to repick my song, but I'm not going to.
You're not going to. Your turn is over. I knew he was going to pick Joe Budden. He always picked Joe Budden.
No, I've never picked him.
And I'm surprised you haven't, honestly. It's the biggest Joe Budden stan you will ever meet. But yes, I was once possibly, maybe, perhaps a Cowboy King. The reason I picked it is because this is why I fell in love with Asking Alexandria, was because of their breakdowns. In my opinion, I don't know if they were the first to do the electronic meshes with it, but in my opinion, they did it the best. And a lot of theirs, after deep diving into how deep I am into electronic music now, a lot of their breakdowns are centric around trance, which trance is difficult. Trance is very difficult. I made a trance track and it took me like 18 hours. So, and they're just doing it casually. So, fuck all of them. But add Ford. Fuckers.
That's a fucking good song, man.
I haven't listened to that in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
Oh,
I just remember seeing fucking camera phone clips of their shows playing that track right there, and they were just bonkers.
back when
just-
everybody was seen, bro. I was
Yeah.
wearing slim fit tees. Just being-
Hey,
fucking
don't have
crazy.
me. Don't have me with that shit, bro.
yeah.
All right, well, cool. Good episode. Proud of you.
Actually, I found it extremely interesting while we were listening to that. Bands like Asking Alexandria are going to be talked about by this generation and the next generation, like bands such as Metallica and Led Zeppelin and Iron Maiden.
Told you I fucking
All
like this
those
guy, 'cause
guys
I've said that before.
are going to be talked about like the old legends in the next generation.
Yeah, it's gonna be like them, A Day to Remember, Chiodos, and you're gonna have like the people that were literally like the pioneers of post-hardcore, because that was an odd situation. Like those two genres were not supposed to line up.
Yep.
And I don't know how it did. I would like to see like some sort of documentary that explains like the beginning of post-hardcore, because I would like to know.
I'm sure there'll be one, man.
I would like to know what caused that, because honestly, like I think it's some really like off the rail shit, and I would have never went down that road.
I think literally someone came out and said, hey, I want to be heavy as fuck, but I want to appeal to people who like clean vocals as well. So we're going to give the people that like heavy vocals everything they want, and we're also going to cater to those people, and they're going to go, wow, what the fuck is this? This is cool.
Yeah, just make it as emotionally
Bro,
charged as possible.
Somebody was just playing trance at a party, and somebody jumps behind the set, and there's
Yeah.
they're just throwing it over the top of it. Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, this is a thing now.
Stop right now.
But yeah, that just occurred to me. That was just like, wow, these guys are going to be legends one day. Not that they're not legends now, but they're going to be like our childhood legends that we pass on to our kids.
I will say about Asking Alexandria too, they're one of the few that have been able to evolve.
Yes, their music has matured.
Because they're in that hard rock era now. Like they don't have a whole lot of
Their evolution is like the equivalent to how AFI evolved 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like how AFI just went from like this weird punk to like horror punk to like, then they got like a little more hardcore with it, and then all of a sudden they just put out like alternative.
Miss Murder.
Yeah, well, and then after that,
I'm
like
so sad. Why
they
would
put
you
out like
remind me AFI existed?
they
bro?
put out like some like stuff like Medicate, which is like very just alternative metal, like very soft compared to like their earlier stuff. They were able to evolve so well.
Breaking
within
Benjamin did that well.
Of course, yes.
You know, they're
they were at
obviously-
Northern Invasion too.
They're obviously a top tier topic when it comes
for
to
sure.
mainstream rock, but you got to think about it. They're evolving to include those post-hardcore influences now, with a lot of screaming, a lot of, you know, very heavy breakdowns and riffs.
They got
It's-
softer when they needed to get softer. They got harder when they needed to get harder. I mean, Breaking Benjamin, but that's the thing I always forget that singer's name.
Ben something.
Ben, yes, but
Benjamin.
that guy
He's
is
breaking.
a fucking genius, and he's very much the mad genius behind the operation, as well as he is the front man.
He's
so.
bad live.
Well, I mean, he left
He had a very bad illness at one point.
Well, he left a successful signed band to create a brand new one and start from scratch with Breaking Benjamin. So he knows. I mean, he's very smart.
They're bad
so.
live though.
It
It wasn't fun.
You know who's
I was
really
very
good
upset by it.
live, and I think is somebody that is horribly undercredited? Slaves.
I've only heard a couple tracks by Slaves. Like, I mean, I know who they are, and I've listened to a few, but it's not like something where it's like you say Slaves, and I'm like, oh, I like this song, this song, this song. But I know the name, and I've heard a few.
Man, they are fucking insane live. I got to see them right before Johnny Craig left, and they nailed every song exactly the way I thought they would, in the best way possible.
That's awesome.
And then they also did, I had VIP tickets to the show, and
He's like, I know people. You
They,
know, I was there. They gave people tickets. I went to the fucking back.
Backstage.
they did,
I could feel the shame at poverty with the VIP. I had VIP.
it was a tiny, tiny club. And they had Escape the
Hey, don't
Fate with
downplay it, bro. We already know you're famous. It's fine.
And they did an acoustic set for the VIP ticket
that's cool.
holders.
Oh
And
shit!
Yeah, private show.
Those are a cool like type of show situation that you can get into.
You got
no
a private
mic,
show.
no mic. Nothing was
So
live.
small room.
It was a dude with a guitar and Johnny Craig. They came out and they played the set of acoustics. And when I tell you, Johnny Craig uses no filters, no editing, no auto-tune on his recordings, I fucking mean it. Because that man, as soon as he started singing, not even into a mic, it sounded exactly just like I heard him
That's a
on
very
his records.
crazy situation. There's a few artists that I can think that sound like that. Jared Leto is one of them.
Yep.
And
That dude sounds better live.
Slaves is just so underrated, man.
And you're not the first person that's told me that. And I feel upset because I haven't given them the proper time to actually dive through the
thing is,
discography, but
they're so fucking mainstream. How are they not huge?
because they're rock music and rock music doesn't sell anymore.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Basically.
It needs it. It deserves. I just remember 08, 09, 94-1 still alive, and alternative music is just banging, and literally I don't want to hear anything that's synthetically made. And here I am now, fast forward, making everything is pretty much synthetically made, but I find myself gravitating back towards it. I want to find ways to incorporate live instrumentation
Let me know.
into it. Oh, we were going to have a discussion after this. Because
Yeah.
I believe it or not, I have 4 EDM playlists, each from chill wave to trance to
you're going to add me.
to literally just the modern mainstream pop EDM. And I have the same with rap playlists. I have, my jazz playlist, my blues playlist.
This
And
is my
then-
fucking guy, dude.
Yep.
Ask my girlfriend, man. We listen to it all.
Yeah, we listen to everything.
Well, all right. We are going to wrap this pod up so we don't drag the listeners another 2 hours, because we went 2 hours. This is our longest
Yeah,
pod.
This is our long
Yeah,
by
you're gonna
far.
have to come back for sure, though.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
This
Yeah, I
is
really
this
wanna
is
come
very
back,
this is
man.
very cool to me, because I was ready to not just do a pod period. I was frustrated
Yeah, the-
today, and this was a good vibe. I fuck with this. We're gonna be doing some things in the future type of situation. But
yeah.
this might get loud. Episode 17. I am Boom, and fuck y'all. I'm out.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Wow.